Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for giving me the floor and the opportunity to talk at this conference. As mentioned, I am a full-time employee of Czech Ice Hockey Association since 2008. Before that, I studied at Physical Education and Sport Faculty of the Charles University. I have been at the position of men's and women's team, national team manager for 10 years altogether, and I'm also participating at IHF development camps in Vieromyky, where I am the team manager tutor. So now I will start my presentation. Of the presentation is team management. I just want to be 100% sure. Do you see it full screen? So I would like to talk about national team management, management of sport event, and management of youth project. At the beginning, a little bit of theory. Peter Drucker was born in Austria, but he is well known as an American father of modern management. And in his book, Practice of Management, he wrote that the manager is a key person and must perform several functions and activities to successfully run a business or team. National team management usually includes one or two managers that is or are in the position of top management, and they are setting the goals. Head coach, assistant coaches, goalkeeper coach, they are generally called as a coaching staff, and they are executive body, and the players are the tools to achieve the goals. In the past, most of youth team players, including U18 or U16 national teams, they had a maximum of 6 team staff, and the composition might be like this or a little bit different. In youth club categories, mostly there is just one, let's say, paid team staff, and the other team staff are parents or volunteers. And I really admire these people because without their help and support, the youth hockey community wouldn't be as it is. Because not everything what you are doing must have only financial benefit or purpose. In youth club, more important is the setting of moral principles and rules, like showing the respect to the opponents, to the officials, coaches, and of course teammates. Also, players' education and development is very important, and of course making the connections and friendships. The players will reach their goal to play NHL, KHL, or any other professional league. The coaches and managers have the big task to form young generation, as same the parents and teachers. With that said, you as a coach or manager, you should have been able to show the high level of standards. Therefore, I like very much the statement of former Chicago Fire head coach Veljko Paunovic. He said that love for the game has to be visible in every move of coach. He must be passionate and hardworking in every detail, and once the player recognizes it, they will be ready to do everything it takes. More experienced coaches and managers have a lot of credibility due to their previous work, while young coaches need more time to establish their ideas and prove their methods successful. In my eyes, team manager is the administrator of national team. He or she takes care of all paperwork. It's not easy and sometimes it's boring. Long time ago, I realized that hockey game lasts 60 minutes, but this is the only 1 hour of work of the team manager that can really enjoy it, watching the game, because he or she does not have any influence on the performance on the ice. But before the puck is dropped, team manager keeps and holds all the database, preparing everything in advance. For example, filling the visa applications, communicate with the hotel and transportation company, and so on and so on. As we all are human beings, we are doing mistakes. Everybody did it and everybody will do it. The important thing is to identify the mistake, correct it in the good way, learn a lesson from it, and keep the experience not to do the same mistake twice. Therefore, I must sign this 5P motto that comes from the British Army. So it says proper preparation prevent poor performance, and this can be also transferable to the players as well. So when you are preparing for the IHF World Championship, the team manager in advance must fill tons of papers and the charts. The filling and applying the team entry-long list is the crucial part of the participation of your team at the World Championship. The IHF developed the Hydra system, and it keeps all the data. The team manager must be aware of the eligibility application, which means the participation of the players with dual or multiple citizenship, and also underage forms. This is important for youth players. So here at this slide, you can see how looks the Hydra IHF system, its website application, and you can just find the player and register it for the tournament. On the next slide, you can see the example of relation in sports, and everyone in the team must know and must be familiar with the role and its position in the team hierarchy, must know his or her task and duties. And I would say that this is the fundamental of good teamwork. The hierarchy in the national team depends on the process, how the national association appoint and sign the team staff, special head coach and manager. As you all know, in US and Canada, general manager of NHL team is responsible for hiring the head coach and signing the player's contract. But more common in Europe is that the head coach is the highest position in the team. He makes a choice of general manager or team manager. and he's choosing his assistants. I think that national team general manager and head coach should be kind of equal. The managers are usually responsible for off-ice activities like releasing the players from their clubs, and organizational part like booking the hotels, flight tickets, and so on. They together, team manager, general manager, and head coach should prepare daily schedule in mutual agreement with the best possible cooperation. And the head coach and assistant coach are fully responsible for the players nomination, playbook, playing strategy, special teams, and so on and so on. So for keeping the flow of the information and updates, there are several useful applications that can really help you. It's up to you. If you use, for example, Teamworks, WhatsApp group, Messenger group, or any other chat you like, or if you would like to use the professional applications like Teamworks, KIS, Moyobo, or any other you like. Briefly, I would like to introduce you Teamworks application. That is probably the famous application in US and Canada, and a lot of professional teams use it. You can see their logos on this slide. So as an administrator, you can communicate directly with all the members, and they receive the info by notification if they are online, or by text message if they are offline. You can, for example, schedule the announcement of players nomination for any future date. Creating the groups is also easy, and a very successful tool is receiving the info who read the message, as well as the documents. All the documents can be transferred to fillable form to your mobile phone, so you don't need to print every single paper. Standard item is sharing the files and videos, as well as synchronizing the calendars. But this application is quite expensive, and it costs about $20,000 per season. So as you can see, and I believe you have already realized, that communication is significant and key part of this job. Interaction between all of these parts is essential to be successful and in everything what you are doing. So internal communication or face-to-face communication is the same important as online communication. And nowadays you may have more online interaction than personal communication, but both are really important. So as a hockey is a team sport, you as a team manager or coach, you must be strong in the communication, especially when announcing official important news. Self-confidence and strong body language helps you in the dressing room or at the bench, but don't be afraid to fail. For example, I lost my voice the 2 weeks before when I announced to our women's national team that the championship in Canada is postponed. but it's the part of our job. When you are involved in youth hockey teams, the importance of communication with parents, schools is sometimes greater than when you are working with a professional team. And as a youth club manager, you must be prepared to solve grades and school results and the other things related to the education. Briefly, I would like to touch social media because they have the big impact now, especially when the entry of funds is limited to visit the games personally, like in the Czech Republic. And it's one of the famous way how to get the fans in the game and behind the scene. I would like to mention that team manager cannot fully supply media manager's duty. You can somehow, for example, take a picture of the start of the game, put the game result or best player award on Facebook, Instagram, and do these small things. But if you want to really create and share reasonable and useful content that will be interesting and fans will follow it, you really need media manager or team of social media workers that can focus only on this topic. The last couple of days, I follow your U18 team participating at the junior championship in Texas, and I really like it. A lot of posts were great, and I really enjoy following your team. So now we have some more time, so I would like to talk about a big sport event like World Championship or World Junior Championship. This big sport event cannot be prepared over the night. The crucial is setting the right organizational chart. It's always the pyramid, and the top point is the top management. In lower level, they are directors of departments, or there were directors of departments. We had 2 organizing cities back in 2015 in Prague and Ostrava. So we had 2 local organizing committees, one for each city. The top management started the work 3 years before the championship started. Managers of each department about 1.5 years before it. So top management negotiated all the main contracts, like host country contract that must follow, of course, IHF championship regulation, and top management also signing all the big contracts with arenas, hotels, and other suppliers. So with the best possible care, top management must set the price of the tickets because it's the only income of the organizing committee. The Czechs keep the spectator record from 2015, and we broke the spectator attendance from 2014 in Minsk. Also, Finns did their job very well, but unfortunately Swedes in 2012 and 13 have not done it properly, and the tribunes were kind of empty and they lost a lot of money. This had big impact on the national team program in following years. For the main task, you should have prepared timeline analysis, and you can do it as a Gantt chart. Gantt chart is a bar chart that provides a visual view of tasks scheduled over the time. There's an example, there's a lot of pictures how you can do it. The Gantt chart is used for planning project of all size, and it's a useful way of showing what work is scheduled to be done for a specific day. It also helps you view the start and the end date of the project in the simple chart. But timeline analysis is not only important for planning the event, but you can use it also for running the team. For example, Hockey Canada women's national team has had this for 2010-2014 period between the Olympics, and I believe they prepare it for every 4-year cycle. They earned 4 Olympics gold medals starting 2002 and finishing 2014. And their schedule was really detailed and specific. Dr. Steve Norris from Canada also said this cycle, plan, execute, review. All the time you plan something, you are trying to execute it in the best way, and you review what you have done or what you could have been done better. I want to also share with you some principles of 2015 World Championship. So the top management appoint the department of directors. So there had been only direct delegation of tasks. The directors were motivated on financial share of the profit. We did the regular check and reporting all the time, and we also found and hired enthusiastic people and volunteers. So a couple more minutes left, so I would like to talk about youth hockey project. We call it Let's Play Hockey, but it's kind of, if you know Hockey Canada, the project called First Shift. So when you are thinking about planning of any event or project, you should ask and answer these 5 W and 1 H question. So after 2015 championship in Prague and Ostrava, Czech Ice Hockey Association made some money and decided to invest in several projects. One of its recruitment project, as I mentioned, let's call it Let's Play Hockey. So we ask and answer the question why we do it. So we wanted to increase the number of players. We ask who will do it. So the clubs and association together, they are involved. What events it would be, so we decided to do recruitment on the ice and off the ice. We decided to do it twice a year in the whole country, and how to do this event. So we did a promotion of the sport by contacting schools and parents. We don't give direct financial support to the clubs, but when they fulfill all conditions, they can choose the sport equipment for youth players for about €2,000 every event. And we also motivate the kids to register in the federation. So when they register in any club, they can buy the equipment with the significant sale. So the organizing process of this sport event, the association announced it the week. The clubs made the online registration and chooses the exact day and time. The clubs are doing the promotion, but we provide all the flights, banners, and so on and so on. Clubs are doing their photo and video documentation. We put it on the special websites, and we are also interested in the club's feedback, what would like to do better next time. It was 4-year cycle from 2016 to 2020, and we are now starting the second cycle. A lot of Czech Ice Hockey Association employees are involved in this project, but it's just a small part of their tasks and duties. Therefore, we are hiring the sport faculty students that are serving their interim for 2 months, and it's about 10 students, and each is responsible for about 10-15 clubs. So we believe we are choosing the best available people for this project. So as a conclusion of this presentation, I would like to remind you that for national team management is important the cooperation between the general manager and head coach. For World Championship organization is essential to appoint the top management and motivated department directors. And as mentioned a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds ago, for youth hockey project, it could be just university students involved in sport. So now I'm open for your question. Thank you very much.